Yo, welcome back to the Audio Theory Podcast. If you're new to the channel, please hit the like button as well as the subscribe button. What's good, Danny? How have you been?
I've been good, dude. So it's been a minute. I'm glad you remembered your lines, because if you would have asked me to do it, I would have been like, bro, you're shot of luck. But it's been good, man. Episode, I think, 212. I'm looking at the notes. I know it's been almost 2 months, so appreciate everyone who's still liking and watching videos on YouTube and Instagram. We've been away. We'll get into the why shortly, but yeah, man, life has been good, man. Life has been busy on my end. I know yours as well. We'll get into that, but yeah, dude, we're in full prep mode, God willing. I think the latest, like my twin girls. I don't know if I announced that on the pod, but I have twin. I think I did. Yeah, I think wore the dad hat one day. Yeah. So I got twin girls on the way. They're healthy, thank God. Heartbeats are strong. They're going to be big, tall, all that stuff. So they're at a maximum 5 weeks away and at a minimum 3 weeks away. So either way, extremely close. But coinciding with that was also redecorating the entire house, getting ready for it. I opened a business with one of my good friends here, Smoothie King. If you're anyone in South Florida, come to Smoothie King Margate. So then also my job, bro. I got a promotion, my job. So all phenomenal, beautiful things. But I would tell you probably the most stressful, semi-depressing 2-3 months that I've had in a long time, bro, which is crazy, because these are all things that you pray for. And I think you and I have spoken about on the pod before about you feel bad for those celebrities who going through it, and you're like, oh, but dude, you have all the money in the world, what could be stressful? And then again, not to put myself in that situation, blah, blah, blah. I would still, love to have Justin Bieber's money. But I would say for the sake of I think when you're in it, there's so many thoughts that come up. And I think the idea of not trying to fuck up but still trying to be great at everything, and then trying to be a perfectionist and realizing that you're still new at certain. So dude, yeah, man, I think all of those new things happening at once just really threw me for a fucking loop. But thankfully, as of today, the last couple weeks, I feel more like myself and more confident. But yeah, bro, I would tell you it's been a whirlwind of emotions these last 3 months, man.
Yeah. No, thanks for being vulnerable, because I feel like a lot of people tell people what they want to hear or feel guilty, like you said, in a moment like this, expressing anything that isn't pure blissful joy or pretending everything's perfect and they're fully confident about everything, because I think pressure is a real thing. And so a reason why your celebrity analogy makes sense, because I would imagine with all the responsibility and everything that they have, cool, yeah, they have millions of dollars and sold a billion records and everyone loves them in terms of fans and stuff, but at the end of the day, when they're alone with their thoughts, it's ultimately up to them to carry all of that pressure.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it makes sense why some people would feel that way, and why people who haven't been in that position might think it's crazy to be if I was in that position, I would act like I'm the shit and have no worries at all, when that's not realistic.
Yeah, or maybe not realistic right away, right? So yeah, I think it's all been like a transition for me. I feel confident about it. Again, I've been in therapy since my mom passed, so I know that shit helps me a lot. Just to be able to talk through my thoughts and remind myself what's happening, as opposed to the story that's being told in my head. But yeah, man, it's been a crazy 3-4 months, bro. All phenomenal, highly blessed, grateful things, but with those things come a level of pressure that I don't think I know I am capable of carrying, but I wasn't prepared for how heavy that was going to be, if that makes sense.
Right. Yeah, that definitely makes sense. And I'm sure, yeah, with time, everything will feel a lot less daunting. I think maybe for you, it probably just all happened in such a short amount of time.
Yeah, dude, it was literally
just focus on one piece of anxiety or whatever.
Dude, all the things. It's funny because there's actually I'll probably post it at some point. I haven't felt the need again, because I also think I want to be true to myself, and I was looking at my Instagram, oh damn, I didn't even post about the Smoothie King thing, as far as an actual post, and I was yeah, because I don't feel it right now. it'd be fake, you know, to be like, oh, like I am proud of it, but it's not like I'm currently not like over the moon about it. So it's just like it wouldn't be genuine. But it's funny because I went out, my people from my actual job took me out for dinner one night, and like they didn't know about Smoothie King and they didn't know about the twins yet. Like it was all in the same amount of time. So I got promoted. We went out and I announced it, and like because it was all back to back. I was like, yep, thank you for bringing me out, but also know that Gina's pregnant. And also know that I'm opening a Smoothie King store. And it was like, bro, what? Right? And then it was cool to announce it, but then I actually needed to go do that, right? I needed to go open a fucking Smoothie King. I needed to go and be or prepare to be a dad and whatever the fuck that looks like. So, yeah, all beautiful things though, bro. Again, I would, if my only two options were, hey, suffer the beginning to have whatever you want in the future, or not have it at all, I'm taking this every day of the week, right? So it is what it is. But yeah, I think it just I was immensely prepared for the what all of it entails. And honestly, bro, it's not even like any of it's hard. It's just more, I think, the mental aspect of the pressure that comes with it that I don't think I was prepared for. I mean, again, it's also self-inflicted, which I'm also aware of. But I think what sucks is like it doesn't mean it makes it easier, right?
Right. Yeah.
That's the part that sucks. Like you're like, bro, I know this is all in my head. It's like cool, then snap out of it. I can't, you know?
Yeah. Right. I mean, and they always say like you should, I guess, challenge yourself and be in uncomfortable situations. But like you said, that isn't just because you did something intentionally doesn't mean all of a sudden it's easy, or like you're not allowed to be nervous about it or anything like that.
Yeah, for sure. But it's been good though, man. I feel like recently though, especially the last, like, I mean, again, this is all recent, because it feels like, I was telling my boy Sam, like it feels like we have like a milestone moment like every fucking week. But I would tell you the milestone moment right now for me personally is that I actually feel like the confidence coming back, because bro, like,
nice.
Confidence was shot, bro. Like, bro, shot. And I was just like, dog, this isn't even like, you know, when you feel like, bro, like, what's going on? Like, why am I being like so timid? So yeah, it's cool to see that light come back a little bit. So yeah, man, very all positive things on my end. But yeah, man, we're 3 to 5 weeks out of the girls being here, man. So it's gonna be a wild experience. Got 3 months of paternity leave though, which is dope. So we're gonna take full advantage of that. I asked for 6 months. I was like, yo, 3 months per kid. They were like, nah. So, but I'll gladly take 3 months and make it work, bro. But how's life been on your end? I know you've had some, you know, your own trials and tribulations recently as well. So like, how's life been on you?
It's been a long couple months, I feel like. Not necessarily all bad things, but I think more recently, so my wife injured herself. So she broke her leg in like 3 different places. I think like mid-ish July. And I think the biggest concern, besides obviously her health, was we had this really big vacation for our honeymoon coming up, and that's in Africa, and obviously not something that is easily reschedulable. That's even a word. And also like costs a lot of money and time to even set up. So we were just worried that she wouldn't be able to go at all, either per the doctor's recommendation, or be able to go but like not be able to do anything. Fortunately, as time has passed, and she's been going to physical therapy and stuff, we realized like it is doable, thankfully. But beyond that, just like day-to-day life is tougher, because like I gotta get her in a wheelchair if we want to like go grocery store shopping or something, or like go to the movies. But I think over time, just like anything else, like you kind of just adapt to it. I feel like
and figure it out. Yeah.
Like human beings are pretty good at forgetting what like normal was once you're doing shit for a long period of time. So that's been stressful, but thankfully work has been good about accommodating that. So like I've been able to like work from home here and there to take care of stuff. And I think mentally she's doing fine, because thankfully her work doesn't require like being physically somewhere. So I know like I have a couple friends who like injure themselves. They're like a bartender and they can't do any of that shit, so they're at home losing their minds. And fortunately work was one of the few things that she was desperate to get back into, just so she could have like a purpose of some sort.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's been a good change.
So when is the safari vacation?
That's starts September 2nd.
Okay, so you have, which will be like almost like 2 months close to when it all went down, or
2 months, about 2 months, slightly under. But every week that goes by is a pretty, I think, noticeable like improvement in general with stuff like this. So
is it the ideal situation? She'll still have a cast on, or no cast by then, just like maybe crutches?
So she doesn't really have a cast per se. It's like a one of those like compression boots that you can put on. And
Got it.
If you need to put weight on it. So she definitely won't be like walking ability by then, but the doctor said she probably can kind of like limp around and like use crutches, but she's not gonna need a wheelchair like she has been kind of recently. And
I guess like also the cool thing about like, and I'm assuming because I don't know, so you can let me update me, but I'm assuming the cool thing about the safari type vacation though is it's not like you're in Europe and you're fucking walking 20,000 steps a day, right? This is going to be, you get taxi somewhere, you do some excursion on a bus, you either go to a, you know, like I'm assuming it's not of that as opposed to, hey, let's walk all day long.
Yeah, correct. So yeah, we'll be in the car, I would assume, most of the time. Maybe get out here and there, but even then it's probably optional. Whereas like if we were in Asia or something, we'd have to be walking on the train and going all over the place. So I think that would have been a different story. Granted, part of obviously the entire trip isn't the safari, so we'll have to figure out like what the situation is when we're in Cape Town. But I was like, worst case scenario, we have to take twice as many Ubers if like a 10-minute walk is too crazy or something. So
I mean, it's also a great story to have, bro. Like obviously in a perfect world, this is not a part of the conversation whatsoever. But I feel like once it is, it's like, all right, bro, like, cool. We're in Cape Town and you're wearing a boot and we're drunk as fuck. And it's just funny, like.
Or I'm drunk as fuck.
Yeah. Either way, but like, we're going to just make the fucking most of this.
Yeah. I was like, we just need to make sure no fucking, leopards see you limping around, because your ass is for sure going to get eaten first out of everybody.
So. Did she, I was wondering, like, dude, obviously I know it was a freak accident, but did she like blame the running at all? Like all the running that you guys have done recently, as far as like the muscle maybe being weak or anything?
No, thankfully, I think that helped prep her for the like recovery or injury.
Okay.
Like the PTs were like, oh, like you're a lot faster than my other clients in terms of like all the movements and stuff they recommend.
Okay, nice.
So
nice.
I think we kind of worked out that we did a half marathon just before, because she was obviously like prepping her legs for that, and coincidentally, I guess for snapping the shit in 3 different places.
Oof, bro, brutal, bro. And again, we can cut this out if you don't want to add it. But question for you though, because you weren't even where she was, right? You had to hop on a flight.
Yeah, I was in the Bay Area still, so I had to fly out to LA the following day, and then I stayed basically in the hospital with her for a week till she was able to get released.
Yeah, crazy, man. Yeah, I'm sure that when that call comes in, you're like, "What's happening?"
Yeah. Especially if it happened at like 11 at night, and like and then you have to go to sleep like wondering what the fuck's going on. Yeah, it just was like not a fun sequence of events. But once you realize like there's gonna be a day where it's just like a funny story and no longer a tragedy, then things seem less bleak, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. But as of right now, she's still in a wheelchair?
Yeah, it's just easier. So she's in it right now. She can put like 25 pounds additional on the foot each week, which means I think basically like by the end of the month it's close to full body weight. Probably won't feel the best, but I think anything that doesn't require the wheelchair is a win at this point.
Nice, man. Okay. I mean, dude, freak access, bro. Have you ever broken a bone or anything?
I broke so I jammed my finger playing basketball and I broke my thumb, but it wasn't anywhere as severe. I mean, I had to wear a cast for a few months, but like,
Okay.
it's one of those fractures where you kind of, you know, something's wrong, but you're not like, oh my God, like take me to the ER right away. It was like,
Got it.
hey
Got it.
mom,
Got
I
it.
can't move my thumb. Like, what the fuck? And then urgent
Got
care,
it. Got it. Got
shit's
it.
broken.
Yeah, so for me it was twice. One playing basketball as well, coincidentally, and one riding a bike. Young though, like I broke my clavicle, which is like this part of your shoulder, which they really can't do anything but like put you in a sling. Right? I think a lot of kids break their clavicle though, because I think it's just like maybe it's weak or something at that like an early age of life. But so I broke that. I know my mom was freaking out because my grandfather was taking care of me, and I was only like 9, and she was like 2 states away working, and he's like, yeah, it's bad. Get to the hospital. So like, I feel for her on that one. And then, dude, it was right before I moved to India. Dude, I'm telling you, like 48 hours before moving to India, I broke my wrist playing basketball, and I had to be in a full cast the entire summer in India. And Indian summers is like 103 degrees, bro. So like, not ideal weather for fucking cast, and also like my first experience in the country. But yeah, so yeah, I broke in stuff on the upper body though, but I feel like lower body is a different bitch, because like, yeah, like you can't, like, you know, we do shit one-handed all the time without even like, you know, whatever, paper cut, you're like, fuck it, I'll use my other hand. But yeah, breaking a leg seems, bro, especially at this age, just fucking the worst, bro. So I definitely feel for her.
Yeah, no, I mean, I had a hairline fracture on my knee when I was snowboarding, maybe like 6 years ago. And that, I mean, obviously a hairline fracture is not that serious, but even that alone, I couldn't like comfortably put weight on my knee or do any like knee bending shit without feeling pain for at least a year. So I can imagine what like breaking bones fully would feel like, because yeah, walking, you take it for granted when you injure yourself.
100%, bro. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Like, dude, there's some days where I'm like, bro, I know that was a terrible workout, but fuck it, bro. At least I'm lucky enough to do it, you know, and just like keep it fucking moving. Nice, man. But you're excited for the trip overall?
Yeah, super excited. The only last step for me is I'm trying to figure out how to use this camera that I'm using right now for the trip, because I've only used my iPhone really for photography, but figured if we're going that far, I should probably have something that can take, you know, good wildlife photos. So hopefully that
nice. How long's this trip?
It is, so it's the 2nd through the 17th. Obviously,
oh wow, nice.
A few of those days are travel.
Of course, yeah.
Since it's so fucking far, but yeah, I think it nets out to like 2 full weeks.
Nice, man. It's gonna be amazing. And 2 full weeks, you're able to disconnect fully, or do you have to log in at some point?
Not working. I might bring my personal laptop just to like store photos or something, but yeah, I'm trying to be good about like fully disconnecting and not like doing any sort of work, even if it's like personal, just disconnecting completely.
That's awesome, bro. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be also here in fucking no time, bro. You're probably gonna be in over there when the girls are born, so I'll definitely I'll send you updates and stuff. But awesome, bro. I'm glad we're surviving, went through our moments, but we're here and we're putting an episode out. We have no idea when the next one is, so let's enjoy this one, and we'll take it from there, man. But episode 212 about to start. Yeah, bro, I think it makes sense. I see the GNX vinyl record behind you. We were going to talk about your experience at the Kendrick Lamar GNX tour in the Bay 2 months ago. So, I mean, he's still on tour now, so it's not like an outdated topic. So, how was the concert? Did it match your hype? Did you feel sad? Did you leave feeling satisfied? Like, share all the thoughts.
Yeah. Obviously, you know, was super excited to attend the show, and you know, I had like a work happy hour beforehand and was chopping up with some people, so that like added to the excitement. And yeah, when we arrived, honestly, the first thing you kind of notice is the crowd and everyone else who's attending, and you know, in front of me was these 2 parents with like their kids who were, they look like young teenagers, maybe like, you know, 12 to 14 range. And they looked over at me and were like, "Are you excited for the show?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I don't know. It was kind of like, I don't know if, I mean, they were white, but I don't know if they're like. Sometimes I overthink, but in my head, I'm like, "Oh, is he asking me because I'm black?" And he's like excited that like, you know, he's bringing his kids into like my culture or some shit. I don't know. But in any case, the vibes when we were walking in were pleasant, if you will. Um, and I know through the midst of this beef and like the Kendrick versus Drake, it's always interesting to see like what the Drake stands or Kendrick stands like look like in real life, and like who's in things. So that was kind of like my first observation. And when we get to the seats, granted they're on the pricier side, not to like brag or anything, but in my section it was there was a black woman in front of us, and I could tell that she was kind of annoyed because on her left and right were white concert goers who like weren't really like singing or getting into the music or doing anything. It seemed like they're just kind of sitting back and observing, and I know that some people go to the shows for the energy, which includes me and my wife, and I think that was the only complaint about our section is it didn't seem like as hype as it could have been. Like it was really like,
so it's almost like that saying, like the rich people seats is like it doesn't get like as rowdy because like
yeah,
they don't want to, because they're just like, bro, like
right,
we just came because we can afford it, like it's not that big of a deal for us.
right. Yeah, I'm not gonna get nosebleeds just for the sake of like
The energy,
buddy whoever's sitting next to me. But that was kind of one of the things I wished was different when I first got there. Obviously, it has nothing to do with the race of the individuals necessarily. I think it's more so like it seemed like, you know, this is what the culture is feeling wasn't, you know, represented in my vicinity.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, like again, I wasn't there for the people around me. I was there for Kendrick, and I would say the music itself like hit really hard. The visuals, the presentation, Kendrick's energy, like all of it I loved. And I loved the fact that he incorporated his older music into it as well.
Nice.
Especially because like I feel like I never get sick of hearing hits from artists I respect and who make genuinely good music. The SZA aspect of it, I'm not like the biggest SZA fan, or at least I'm not super familiar with her music. So some of the songs did feel like a little sleepy to me, I guess you could say. It's hard to have that contrast in music when you have like a super hype Kendrick
aggressive
song.
Contrast, yeah.
Yeah. And then it's like switches to her kind of soothing R&B vocals. And if you're not familiar with the song, you're kind of just like sitting there like a baby who's being sung a lullaby.
Yeah.
So I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say it's a criticism, because I'm sure SZA fans loved it, but I was mostly there for Kendrick, so could do without, you know, a lot of those tracks. But overall, I thought it was great. I think it met my expectations.
Nice.
I think they really put on a great show. Even though the people around me weren't necessarily hype, I could see like closer towards the ground level area, people just going crazy and dancing. And so even though you know, he's more of like an LA artist, you could definitely feel the energy in the Bay Area, and I felt like I made the right decision in going to the show, especially because it might be my last, and I had already gone to Drake, so I feel like I got my money's worth based on the experience.
Nice. Did he give how long was the set?
I think in total it was like 2 hours.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So you were there for almost like a good 3 hours then.
Yeah, pretty much.
Nice.
Yeah,
Dude, you get your money's worth. Awesome. Was there an opener pre SZA, or did SZA open?
It was DJ Mustard.
Okay. That makes sense.
I've already seen him like 3 times, and in general, DJs, it's kind of just like a big club party. So I don't feel like you're really missing out if you missed that part. So we didn't show up right on time for that reason.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, I only show up on time for concerts where like it's like, hey, I have GA standing alone seats, and you're like, bro, if you don't get there early, you're gonna be in the worst spot possible. So, nice, dude. What was the number one, like the one moment of the show that you were like, yup, this is the best moment tonight?
Damn. I think Family Ties.
Nice.
Which is like a wild moment. Like, and it's crazy.
Did he bring out Baby Keem or no?
No, I wish. I think he did in Vegas or something.
So I was at the show. I was at the show at Coachella where Baby Keem brought him out.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah.
And and people went crazy because I guess Kendrick wasn't out like for almost like a couple years. So
yeah.
Nice, dude. Yeah, I mean that song was made for shows. Like, right. I mean, I know it slaps on like your DSP, but like that show is made for like a concert.
But the thing is, I actually didn't really like that song when it first came out, and then I know you had, at least I think, had always loved it. And the more and more I listened to it, the more I'm like, oh, this song is fucking dope. And seeing other people see it live made me realize like that's the perfect environment for that. And I didn't hear it live necessarily before that, but I heard it in a bar, like a nightclub or something. And that's the moment it really clicked for me. So when I saw it live with the flames and everything, it was just crazy.
That's funny though, because I think a majority, and I know it's obviously a massive hit, and I'm sure it's gone platinum multiple times over, but I think a lot of people's initial reaction to that song is like, all right? Like, I don't know if it's just because it's like a heavy Baby Keem initially, and maybe like he's just like a more of acquired taste. But like, bro, I think we've had this conversation on the pod before, but like the summer leading up, dude, because I was telling you, remember, I wanted to come out to that song for my wedding. And like I got shut down, you know. So, but I was playing that song for like friends and family in New York, and they were like, dude, like unamused by it. And I'm just like, bro, do you guys not hear what the fuck I hear? Like, and I'm playing this shit. You know how I am, bro. If I love a song, I'm like replay that shit over and over. And everyone was just like, yeah, that's all right, I guess. I'm like, bro, what? So yeah, I'm glad you understood, bro, or understand now, because dude, that song is ridiculous.
Yeah. That was fire.
Nice. What was is Sarah your wife? Is she a big SZA fan, or does she not really care either?
No, I wouldn't say she really cares. She was definitely there for Kendrick.
Okay.
We didn't even get I wish we had taken a picture that night, but she bought this shirt. It's of Kendrick. I think Kendrick holding his baby boy or girl, but someone photoshopped Drake's head onto it. And not that she's a Drake hater. Obviously, it was just like a funny piece of merch. But clearly, she was there for Kendrick.
Nice.
I don't even think anyone commented on it. So, again, I don't even know how in tune the crowd was, or if they gave a fuck about the beef at all. But she was definitely there for Kendrick.
Nice, man. Good for you, bro. Yeah, so I know the tour is still going. I think it's doing crazy numbers. Yeah, shout out to them. Yeah, I feel like I would have enjoyed SZA, but I think because like I really enjoyed her, like, not debut album, but that album which had like the Love Galore remix with Travis, like that one, like Go Gina, like those songs, like I love that shit. But I was also single and like fucking heartbroken at the time, so I was like, oh bro, this is the greatest fucking album, blah blah blah. So yeah, because I feel like that first album, which popped for her, was all about like single life, but like depressing single life. So like yeah, like it just might be too much of a contrast at a Kendrick Lamar concert, fresh off like his biggest moment of his career, quote unquote, with like very aggressive songs.
Yeah. And another thing I noticed too is I was like, thank God I know the lyrics to most of his songs, because as good of a performer Kendrick is, or any of these guys are, like it's really difficult to hear the words. And in my head, I'm like, he could just be mumbling shit, and I will just naturally think he's saying what I know he's supposed to say. But I'm like, for instance, those parents who brought their kids who probably don't know much of his music, in my head, I'm like, do they have any idea what the fuck is going on, or are they just like impressed with the way he's moving his hands and it seems like he's, you know, spitting the craziest shit of his life?
Yeah, it's probably more that. If I had to guess.
Right, just like an old person saying, like,
yeah,
if I just said the most random shit, they'd be like, oh, he's a great rapper.
Dude, yeah, he's well spoken. Oh man, dude, I'm glad it was a great show. Would you see him again?
Not anytime soon. I mean, I feel like for me, it's like I really need new music that hits. Especially if I'm going to shell out that kind of money. Like if he had another tour of some sort next year, I don't think I'd go.
You would have to be in love with the new content to. Yeah. Which is, I think, what I think I've told you this as well. Which is how I feel currently about like Travis. I think you got to move me to a way that I'm like, abso-fucking-lutely, I want to see how you create this, in a arena, as opposed to like, bro, I've seen you too many times. Like, it is what it is.
Yeah, 100%.
Bet. But let's talk about another concert then. Concert that Blair is going to a week from today. So I will not give away too many spoilers, but I just went to the Clipse concert in Miami Beach this past week. And bro, no bullshit, 9.5 out of 10. Like, phenomenal show. Earth Gang opened for them. So I don't know how familiar you are with Earth Gang.
I'm familiar with them. I'm not super familiar with them.
So same. So that was a little bit interesting. For some reason in my head, bro, I thought JID was a part of Earth Gang. But then I'm like, oh no, Earth Gang is just on Dreamville, and then there's so many Earth Gang featuring JID songs apparently. So that's why I was like, oh, my favorite version of this song has someone else on it, So then I was like, I don't know. There was like maybe 2 songs that I was like, all right, I kind of like that song, but that was interesting. They did their best to get the crowd going, but bro, honestly, Clipse did not need a opener. Bro, it was just from the beginning. Just phenomenal energy. Dude, when I tell you complete crowd control, and you'll see moments what I mean, and it'll hit for you when you're there, because I think this is a part of their shtick. I don't mean shtick to downplay it. I think they just have their act very, very well. Yeah, bro, great show. I hope they bring out surprise guests in the Bay. We should have knowing that Pharrell lives in Miami half the year, that Pharrell was even an option. But I think because I was so, I've had so much going on in my life, and I was like, there was even a moment of me bro, do I even fucking have time for a concert right now? That I didn't even think about it. But then, dude, Pharrell popped out, and dude, I grabbed Sam's arm so aggressively I almost spilled his drink, because I was just like. Bro, it was just amazing, dude. Amazing. 10 out of 10, 9.5 out of 10. And I think I told Blair this offline. I'll tell everyone listening and watching. I think because the I don't know where your concert is going to be at for them, but the Fillmore is a very intimate, theater, very intimate, bro. So I think max 4,000 seats, if we're being honest. So, bro, the screens were pretty big, but it's such a small space that they look even bigger. Bro, the story they were telling for every single song was sensational. And I'm not going to give any one specific thing away, but there was this thing that they did do that I really appreciate, which is, I think, goes to bro, that's a 52-year-old and 49-year-old man respectively on stage, right? And Malice and Pusha, which again seems crazy. But if you do the math, oh yeah, when they were 25, I was 10, fucking Grinding came out in 2002, and I was like, holy shit. But they were showing these in black and white, these uber famous staple in black culture musicians, like Aretha Franklin, Diana Ross, Louis Armstrong, all these people. And then they start flashing the clips at different stages of their lives, and then go back to a Jay-Z, and then go back, and it's you're trying to tell us that you're them. And I was like, bro, abso-fucking-lutely. Why aren't you them, right? You're that revered, right? I think sometimes we only we've said it a million times on the pod, but there was always a stage in hip hop where Tupac and Biggie must be in your top 5 because they are the only people who can be there at all times. And it's cool, right, whatever. But I think there's more of a reverence because it's nostalgic, right? And I like how they're very confidently saying like, no, we're a part of the nostalgia of hip hop as well. We are staples. Like, dude, it was so well done, bro. Again, I don't remember a creative director screening type thing that was that a part of the show. Like sometimes it's cool and it's like a cool backdrop or, you know, cool CGI shit or whatever. But this was like, bro, it might as well have been like a hype man for them the entire show, because like you couldn't take your eyes off it, even though obviously you were focused on them. But like, it's all right, what is this song gonna do on the screen now? And it's like, oh, bro, it was so good. So good.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you brought that up. It's crazy to me that for guys who've been gone for so long from the music scene, at least like as a collective and
as a collective, right,
stuff, that I mean, we grew up with like Grinding and all these other songs, but I feel like the vast majority of people nowadays, like my wife or whoever, like have no idea who the fuck Clipse are, let alone who they are as individuals. But somehow it seems like they were immune to, like, I feel like they have been always getting their flowers. Maybe not to this level, but in a weird way, it seems like they just kind of earned it with a few like really good fucking albums.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
Like there's a lot of artists who haven't been able to do that.
Yeah, and I was trying to think about it at the show, bro. I don't even know if they're 100% deserving of these flowers, but it's almost like you're curious, like, bro, this is like a different level of affection you're getting, and I'm like, is this warranted? You know, like, is there something happening in the background that I don't know, that like you're being pushed on us in a certain? And again, I'm all for it though, bro. Like, again, I think they're deserving. When I was getting ready and listening to like the albums prior, like leading up to the concert, I'm like, oh, bro, I forgot about that song. Oh, bro, what a fucking banger, dude. They did the song with Birdman, What Happened to That Boy? And I'm like, oh my, like, dude, what a classic, right? Like, dude, like so many of these things. And you're like, yeah, maybe they are this deserving, and it just took an amazing rollout, right? Which a lot of artists don't like to do because they don't want to invest the money to remind us of what they've been, let alone. And then obviously, I think what helps the most is that, again, it's two very seasoned individuals put out a body of work that we're like, holy shit, you know, this is what we've been begging music to do for 4 or 5 years. So I think it's also the content, I think, elevated the way they got their flowers right now. And because I think it was insane. Because I know you said at the GNX tour, he did a lot of old stuff, right? Which was cool. And they did old stuff at this concert as well. But bro, this was very much a album concert. Like, they played all those songs, and you would think those songs were like 10-year-old classics, the way everyone knew the words to Mike Tyson, you know, the Mike Tyson The Face song, and FICO. Like, you're like, bro, this shit just came out like a month and a half ago. Like, how do you guys know this like this?
Yeah, no, that's dope. And I just checked the venue I'm going to. I've been there a few times. It's near my old apartment, but it seats like 2,300. So
oh, beautiful.
It seems like this is a good group to see there.
100%, bro. Yeah, because it's very much like, yeah, dude, again, we'll talk offline because I don't want to give anything away for you, especially if you're about to see them. But if anyone's listening and you have an opportunity, they're still on tour in your area, go see them, bro. I would tell you, initially I was like, bro, yeah, I enjoyed the album, but like the Clipse, man, who cares? Like, you know, like I'm being genuine. And then luckily Sam convinced me, and I'm like, bro, money, and dude, it was only like $80 each. But yeah, dude, money well spent, phenomenal show. And yeah, 9.5 out of 10. I think the only thing that would make it a 10 is if they brought somebody else out. That would have been like a cool, like, I don't know, like a Tyler, I don't know, somebody. Because Pharrell, it made sense, but I think they have so many other bangers that would have been cool to see somebody else with. But yeah, dude, it was great show. Pusha T is definitely a better live performer than Malice. I will say that, but obviously Malice, I maybe I told you this. I do think that Pusha T is a much better artist than Malice, but I do think as a duo, I'm always leaning towards, if I had to pick my favorite verse from a song, it's usually a Malice verse. that is my favorite song, like favorite
Yeah.
part of a song. Like I don't know why, and that's still consistent on this most recent album. And then it's funny when they did Grindin', and then I hear the patty cake. I'm like, oh right, that was Malice's part, bro. I was like, dog, like then I'm like, it all like brought me back to like when I was 14-year-old me. Then I was like, bro, this is the crazy, dude. So like it's interesting how like Pusha T's undeniable, but it's cool like Big Brother gets to shine when it's the two of them.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I think they even though they kind of sound similar and even look similar, I think they balance each other out, and it's kind of like Ray Shremmerd. Like maybe that's not the best analogy, because I think Malice and Pusha T are way more similar than Sway Lee and Slim Jimmy, but I feel like you definitely need both of them to complete the puzzle for the group.
Correct. Yeah, no, 100%, dude. Yeah, so I think you're gonna love the show, bro. I'm glad it's an intimate venue, so you can kind of get the energy aspect that I'm talking about. And then I'm sure, like, I mean, again, these guys are well respected everywhere, but I think places like the West Coast, Miami, New York, it also makes sense because the level of person who's gonna go see them on a Monday, Tuesday night are true like hip hop heads, right? Like, bro, there was the average age at this concert was very much like 38. Like, you know, well established, sexy, like older women, like men who clearly have money. Like, this wasn't like a bunch of like teen boppers, like, oh, what's this? You know, like, it was very much people of a certain age, and you felt very comfortable amongst them.
Nice. No, looking forward to it. That's definitely my preferred crowd.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, you want to be around like-minded people, and it's just like, bro, like,
right,
you're 15. Like, why are you here? You know, like, we have nothing in common. Why you? I know you like him, I like him, but no, bro, we're not the same. You know, so. But yeah, man, we'll definitely excited to hear your feedback on that. But speaking of the Clipse, there's been, I feel like people are saying this is like one of the best summers one of the best music summers in a long time because of albums like the Clipse. Let God Sort 'Em Out. I know that Tyler dropped Don't Tap the Glass. Justin Bieber dropped Swag. Jack Boys 2 came out. And then Alfredo 2, Freddie Gibbs and The Alchemist dropped. We also had a Gunna album, right? So your overall thoughts, and you can obviously, you know, pinpoint one of these albums or maybe another one that I forgot to mention, but your thoughts on the quality of music we're getting these last 2 or 3 months.
I'd say overall, I'm pleased. I think I'm more so pleased with the fact that it seems like none of these artists are chasing like trends or moments. Because I think for the longest time, like post-pandemic, it seemed like people were chasing like a TikTok hit or like just desperately trying to top the charts. And I feel like a lot of the artists you just mentioned are just releasing art for the sake of art. Like even Justin Bieber, like I don't think any of his songs are really like obvious singles, like, you know, Yummy or some shit where he's like trying to be popular again. I think it's just like, yo, I have a bunch of songs that I feel like are dope and I'm gonna release them, and
yeah. And I want to touch this kind of music again that I haven't done in a while. Yeah, for sure.
So I do kind of like the nonchalant drops. It seems like a lot of these artists are making. I mean, I don't think there's been any. I think of all the ones you mentioned, for me at least, there hasn't been any like undeniable masterpiece. Maybe I have to sit with them more. So I've been pleased, but I haven't felt like the way I felt like when GNX first came out, for instance.
Which was undeniable, the first moment. Yeah. I would tell you, for me personally, I would tell you that I do agree with the idea that a lot of these albums feel like not forced, which I appreciate, right? Like, be an artist, take risk. But I think also that in the same breath, if you take the risk, I think it's also fair to give criticism. And I think what's been confusing for me is that I think a lot of people are getting caught up in, and by a lot of people I mean the media, the comments, whatever, have been getting caught up in like, oh wow, it's such a fresh, you know, take on certain things. But then I'm like, all right, but are you actually enjoying this? Right. And the only reason I say that is because, like, dude, the Tyler the Creator album did nothing for me. And like, I know there was so much hype around it. People were excited about it. The visuals look crazy. We love Tyler. I was like, bro, what is this? You know? And then you're telling me, hey, I did this for people to dance. I'm like, where the fuck are they dancing to this to? Bro, like, at no point, I'm like, is this dance music, bro? So like that confused me. But again, good for him for taking risks, you know, like, you know, if that's going to lead to the next album that's a breakthrough for him or whatever, he goes back to the drawing board, whatever, but good for him for taking chances. I will tell you, for me personally, though, I do think the Clipse is close to a perfect album, as you're going to find, bro. It's short, digestible, 4 or 5 songs that you really love to play over and over again. Fun songs, heavy, the drums, like, again, that's why I think, like, in Miami, that shit just hits different, right? Because it kind of just goes with the idea of like Miami Vice and stuff. So I would say the Clipse, Let God Sort 'Em Out was like up there for me. And I would just say honorable mention to Alchemist and Freddie Gibbs. But bro, like, if you look at the Alchemist like last 10 projects, like, this run is ridiculous. And I think he doesn't get enough. Maybe he doesn't get enough credit. I don't know. Maybe he does. Maybe he gets enough flowers. But I don't know any other producer besides like that time where it was like Kanye, Timbaland, and Pharrell that we just expect anything they do will be a work of art. And I feel like we're very much already in that zone with him that, like, oh, it's an Alchemist beat. If the song sucks, it's not his fault. You know, like, it has to be the artist who just didn't get the assignment, right? Because, bro, like, him and, again, I know he picks the artists he wants to work with very well that, you know, can complement each other, which is what all artists should do. But, bro, like, these beat creations and beats art, dude, that Freddie Gibbs album was crazy to me, you know? And, like, the majority of that, I get it, just like the creativeness of over an Alchemist beat, that's like insane. Like, I get it. It's, if you just do like the last 10, you're gonna be like, holy shit, this is crazy. And then you can go back fucking 20 years now and it's been the same shit.
Yeah. And speaking of Freddie Gibbs, like, so I hadn't finished the entire album, but when I was on YouTube, I came across one of the videos from the album, and it seems like it has some sort of like Japanese samurai Yakuza type concept to it. And I noticed in that moment that the visuals and concept sometimes are what at least I need to like really get into something and appreciate it. And I just remember watching that video and be like, damn, this shit is like super dope. Because half the time, like, I don't know, sometimes when they are on these songs, like, I'm not really quite sure what the fuck the concept really is.
Yeah. Are you just rapping to rap? Yeah.
Right, exactly. And that's cool, but then that also makes me it's harder to get engaged right away. Whereas if I see Freddie Gibbs just dressed up as a samurai, then obviously I'm like, oh shit, there's some sort of story here. And then I'm like really tapped into the art, because now I'm like, I appreciate you're not just rapping to rap, you're trying to like make almost like a cinematic experience out of it.
Yeah, I agree. Which again is my critique, and I know a lot of people like this is like the running joke right now. I'm like, where have you been these last 4 years? But like with Gunna on his new album, it's like, oh, these songs all sound the same. I'm like, bro, like, we've been saying this forever. Like, either you like Gunna or you don't like Gunna. Like, there's no, you know, like, you hope you get a banger that's like replayable, or you're gonna get this. Which again, not, we love him, but I feel most times he's just rapping to rap, right? So just like, yeah, I don't know. I would feel, me personally, I think this is like the overwhelming. I'm grateful that people are putting out music that seems I guess the right word is like unforced. Like, it's not forced music, which I appreciate. But I don't think I love all the music coming out, right? So I think I push back a little bit on the idea like this is like the great renaissance of music and hip hop, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I don't know about that.
Year in hip hop in like decades or some shit.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I feel like 2016 is like the bar over the last like decade or so. But yeah, I would say it's refreshing that people seem to be getting creative again, and there's an art form that we can actually discuss, as opposed to, hey, this guy dropped an album because he drops an album every 7 to 8 months and that's just what he does.
Right. And I'm glad you brought up the Tyler thing, because as much as I appreciate his willingness to be different and like not chase trends, he's one artist where I like pockets of his music, but sometimes I just don't really fully understand what's going on. And I felt that way with this release. And I don't know, I feel like there's a almost like this inner resistance to call art like that like either bad or like not for you, because they are doing something different, and you don't want to suppress people,
like scare it away. Yeah.
But at the same time, I wonder if the opposite is true, in the sense of like, if he's thinking to himself, what I'm doing is so different, and if you don't like it, then you don't respect real art. And I think that's also not like fair for the listeners as well. Just because you're like edgy and doing weird random shit doesn't automatically make it, objectively good either.
I agree 100%, bro. I think this might be the same, and if it's not, I mean, it's a reach, and I apologize, but I think I told you a story on the pod as well. Like, I went to a DJ show like a few years ago, and the DJ was like, before he started his literally verbatim before he started his set, he was like, "Hey, I'm gonna take some risk. Just follow along. Don't judge." I'm just like, or be good, bro. Like, or just do really good shit, and then I'm not gonna judge you because I'm entertained, So like, I think that's how I feel about the Tyler stuff, right? Like, yeah, I think, and especially artists like that like, I think the media is like, doesn't want to say anything negative, because like, you don't want to have any weird, animosity to a rapper who's different, blah 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 blah. Is he gay? Is he not? Whatever. But my bro, this wasn't good, like. And I don't care if you had LeBron James and Pusha T in the video. Like, I don't care that you were the pop out. Like, nothing to do with that. It's like, bro, this wasn't. I love Tyler created albums. I love, like, the last 3 were all deserving of Grammys, and rightly so. This one did nothing. And then I meant to believe, because you had an edgy surprise drop on a Monday, that now this is the greatest thing you've dropped ever. Like, no, bro, fuck out of here.
Yeah, I think I do feel like the pop out and stuff put like a battery in his back, because like, he got the recognition of being from LA and having all the sales with his latest drop, and people finally putting respect on his name and as an artist. But at the same time, I would imagine all of that would create a little bit of false confidence in like, well, I can just fucking do anything, and if you don't like it, like, you're the issue. Like, you don't respect real art, or like attempts to be different and shit like that. But
yeah, which is great though, right? Because I think there's also a balance of like, that's probably what keeps you. I mean, that same ego or creativity or refusal to be compromising to other people's opinions is what led to the other bodies of work that were amazing, right? So again, like, I guess your point, like, yeah, you don't want to just like shit on it, but then there's also, I think, a room for like, okay, bro, but like, if your intent was to make people dance, the people listening it don't want to dance because they don't like it. So like, if you're telling us that was your goal, you failed at the goal, is all I'm trying to say.
Like, that "Stop Playing With Me" single, I'm like, how do you dance to this shit? And
bro,
maybe you do whatever you want, shake your head, jump around, but it didn't come across like some Nokia shit.
Yeah, dude, yeah, like, and I think like, if you would have just dropped the album and say, hey, I'm doing a different sound, cool. The fact that he leaned in was like, this is a dance album. Like, bro, where are we dancing to this?
Also, why do you have to preface this? It sounds like similar to the scenario with the DJ. Why do you have to like preface what we have to do? Like, hey, by the way, this is for the gym or whatever. Like, let me decide that shit.
And again, I mean, side note, it's probably not worth mentioning, but it's, again, I don't know when we do a next pod, but I had to delete the Metro Boomin futuristic sound shit off my phone. Like, again, don't tell me, oh, if you're not from Atlanta, you don't get it. Bro, fuck out of here. I love Young Dro. I don't need Young Dro in 2025 for 5 different fucking songs, bro. Like, I don't know why you thought This Man Needs His Flowers in 2025 during the summer over some Blair and I were talking offline to people listening now, but dude, this made me want to go back and like re-listen to shit from back in the day. Like, did I really even enjoy it then? Because if this is what it was, this is awful, bro. Like, dude, I was at the gym trying my best to like that shit. And I was like, there's no way that I'm listening to. And this was one of the few times that I'm grateful that the internet agreed, because I think the majority of the feedback was like, bro, what the fuck is this?
Yeah. No, I felt that immediately. It was painful to get through. I appreciate the attempt. I think he nailed the sound, obviously. But the thing is, just like in that era, there was objectively shitty like 2005 songs or whatever you want to call it. So you can't just, I'm sick of this like, oh, let me be nostalgic and I can just do whatever. And if you don't like it, you don't fuck with that era or whatever, because you can be nostalgic and fuck it up. And I think,
correct,
unfortunately, that's what happened.
Yeah, or overthink it, right? Because I think the beauty of those like Laffy Taffy, those songs, right, of that era was like, let's not be serious here, right? Like, I'm making a song about a white t-shirt. Like, let's not, not be serious. Whereas I think Metro, because he is a genuine artist, it felt like overproduced.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Like you're trying too hard to like recreate this thing. Whereas like the beauty of this shit back in 2002 when we were kids was like, we could make this, like that was like, oh, this is so fucking corny and like fun. Like, yeah, but yeah, dude, we're 30, 35 years old. Like if you remember this shit, like no one's gonna fucking fuck with it. Yeah, so that, I had to delete that. The rest I kept the Tyler one. I want to give it a listen again in the future and see if maybe it was just the mood I was in. But yeah, I think Metro coming off a tremendous summer last year. I think that's what the disappointing was. Like, bro, you created such phenomenal moments in hip hop that like, how is this your follow-up was my overwhelming feeling. Yeah.
And he apparently was furious at the overwhelming negative reaction to the album, which I mean, as an artist, obviously you're gonna be sensitive if everyone's bashing you, especially like the Joe Buddens of the world. But I don't know. I think he just really felt like he was paying homage to Atlanta or something, and like he was just being, just got it thrown back in his face. But as listeners who have like no dog in this fight, I think we all agree that like it wasn't the best attempt, and there was fucking like 30 songs on the album on top of that. So I think we were all waiting for like one of them to be a smash hit.
Yeah, 100%. I'm like, all right, well, I went through 12 of these already. Like the next one I was like, Brad, I think when I heard, dude, I'm telling you, like legit, when I heard Young Dro for like the 4th time, I was like, all right, bro, this is like, I'm like, T.I. wouldn't even do this. Like, why are you doing this?
And also the point of it, like, that's one of the few like subgenres where it pretty much has to be a hit for you to want to listen to it, right? So if that's a miss after miss after miss, then you're really like, what the fuck is the point?
Correct. Because like, yeah, that genre in itself at the time had the feeling of like, I don't know if you ever saw this like clip. There's like a famous clip of like, remember like he's still alive, so I don't remember, but the DJ, he's a house DJ. I think his name's Afrojack.
Yeah, Afrojack, yep.
Yeah, but there's like a clip of him, bro, that he had like this beat making machine where even he would say, bro, I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing. I just fuck around with some buttons, and if it comes out like a hit, cool, I'll put it out. And if you guys tell me it's a hit, great, I don't care. I just keep making beats, right? The reason why I bring that up was like, I feel like there was a time in 2000, 2004, like those Southern beats felt like a generic computer, tell me what's hot, and we'll put it if he'll hit, right? Like there wasn't science behind it though. Whereas like it was 1 out of every 8 was a banger. Bro, for this guy to drop a 27 song EP that had dud after dud after dud, I'm like, bro, like you missed the boat here. Like completely. Like if anything, make this like a 5-track thing with 5 undeniable things, and everyone will call you a fucking genius for bringing the sound back.
Right. Yeah, I think his intention was if he had like 30 songs or however, or close to 30, that you could play this at a backyard party
like
for
a playlist,
like 4
yeah.
hours and have enough for that like consistent sound. But clearly, like, nobody asked for it as far as we're aware. And we would have much preferred like a buy you a drink type single that we could play for like the next 3 summers, but it felt very Chat GPT-ish, if you will.
Yeah, and that's funny you say the buy you a drink, because that's obviously an undeniable hit. I think that is still what the summer lacked. And then I'll say because the summer's coming to an end, essentially, like our kids are back in school or whatever. But I would say, regardless of these albums that were good, very good, masterpieces, whatever, I do think this summer did lack that one undeniable song.
Yeah, no, I would agree. I can't think of anything that really would have that came close. Maybe a pop song or something, but still, I really can't think of anything.
Yeah, no hip hop song. And honestly, bro, I can't even tell you one. Again, I also haven't been on TikTok that much, so so I don't know what is on that shit right now. But yeah, I can't think of one song that I was like, oh yeah, I gotta add it to my phone because like this is crazy, right? Like I think there's ever like nice moments. Again, I know people wanted for this to work out, but there's no way Nokia dropping in February was gonna make it all the way to July.
No.
Like there's no fucking way, you know? So so yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, I'm grateful for the attempt for sure. Any other topics you want to add before we get out of here?
No, not that I can think of.
Cool. All right, so heat of the week. It's been a minute, so we have some time to assess. What's one song this summer, I guess, that's like was undeniable for you at least?
Let's see. I mean, there's obviously been a handful over the past couple of months, but I'm gonna try to think about like what's been more recent. Unrelated, but somewhat related. I don't know if Apple has this, but I noticed Spotify has this dope AI feature where you can basically tell it what kind of playlist to make. So like the other day I was like, hey, make a playlist for my most listened to songs over the past couple years that I haven't listened to recently. And then it curated like 30 songs.
Oh, that's dope.
Something. And that way I didn't have to obviously go through the list myself and figure out what I haven't heard in a while.
And you just type that into the search bar?
Yeah, you could type it in. There's like a section for playlists, and
okay,
like, hey, I want a playlist that's like kind of trap hits but mixed in with reggaeton or something, and it'll do it in 2 seconds.
That's dope. Yeah, I'm messing around. I mean, I doubt it, but I'll see if Apple Music has that.
Let's see. So the last time I was in Hawaii, there's this one artist I've been listening to, and what's weird is he doesn't really have much music out, and coincidentally, he's a part of this like compilation album that was apparently curated by Pusha T, random as hell. But the name of the song is Player Shit, and the artist, his name is Tyler Thomas, and it's a very, very like funky, smooth rap song that sounds like something Buddy would be a part of.
Nice. Okay, what's the guy's name?
Tyler Thomas.
Okay, and the album says like 1800, curated by Pusha T.
Yep.
Nice, dude. It's so random.
Yeah, it's random as hell. I don't even remember. I think it just naturally played in like one of my playlists once it ended. But yes, I think Pusha T curated the album and just had a bunch of random artists, and he was one of them. And obviously, I liked the song, so I was trying to see what other music he had. He didn't really have much at all, but to me, that song's like just phenomenal, and clearly the dude's super talented. So hopefully he creates more stuff like that. But I thought it was a really nice break from all of the other kind of music I'd been listening to for the past few months. A good like summer song too, or like vibe.
Nice.
Song.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll definitely peep that. I mean, it's it's only 11 tracks, so I'll peep the whole thing. That's dope. Yeah, I never even heard of this. I'm trying to figure out, is it 1800 like the tequila? No, it's just 1800 seconds.
1800 seconds. Yeah, it says 1800 Oh, funny enough, 1800 tequila showed up. So he must have done it like as some sort of
yeah, I was trying to think, because I remember in 2018, ironically enough, Drake had that banger for like Louis Vuitton.
Yeah,
like signs. So like, yeah, maybe it was just like that time where like these brands were like, hey, rapper who's famous, create something for us.
Yeah.
So interesting.
Yeah, curated by hip hop legend Pusha T, brought to life by 1800 Tequila.
Yeah, that's
Each
dope.
artist was flown to LA. Yeah, that's dope.
That is super dope, bro. Yeah, and it's also like a cool thing. I think 2018, I'm not saying the peak, but like definitely 2018, 2019, bro, like right before COVID, that was the peak of like every brand getting into the content space. You know what I mean? Like every brand felt the need. They had to have something content related. Otherwise, they're going to be left to the side, blah, blah, blah. Right. So like 1800 having an album curated by Pusha T seems weird today. But in that year, it was like, absolutely. Like, why wouldn't we do that? You know, like,
yeah.
So it's just like, it was so random, like that time, bro. It reminds me like when I went to LA to visit you once and like everyone's just creating content like every fucking corner. You're like, bro, what the how is this fucking real life, bro? You know, like,
I know, for real.
Cool. But then ironically enough, then yeah, dude, my heat of the week is going to also be a Pusha T inspired track, but he's actually on it. I will tell you personally, bro, and I mean it's obvious because obviously you know me, but The Birds Don't Sing, bro, one of the greatest songs I've ever heard with my own ears. I will tell you it's phenomenal live. The way that they give each of those two artists time to kind of like just talk from the heart. Dude, John Legend coming back as a champ and fucking telling Kanye how he's like the greatest. Now, obviously not saying it, but just by doing a great job, it's almost like a fuck you to Kanye. Like, bro, Birds Don't Sing is one of the greatest songs about losing a loved one you can ever hear. So, bro, I was literally on like, I had goosebumps at the show and like did my best to not cry. And I'm being blatantly fucking like vulnerable and honest. Like, bro, it's like such a good song. And the fact that that's how you start an album is also crazy to me. Like genius wise, like, cause like you would think that'll get lost in the midst of like the bangers and the hits and the fact that they want to come like correct with that. And then you'll see at the show, but how they made the screen come to life during this song is also, bro, fire.
Yeah, no, definitely one of the hardest hitting moments on that album. And just hearing it on my phone like felt super emotional. So I can imagine in person with like them giving their raw emotions and reciting everything probably felt like 100 times more impactful.
100, yo, crazy, bro, crazy. Yeah, and again, I think there's always a fear, and I'm sure you also probably had this fear when you wrote "Be Alright," but there's also this fear like there's this like very fine line of trying to bare your soul, but then also not trying to come across like too obvious.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so I think there's like, again, you did a great job with it. They did it, but yeah, it's like, because there's all the dude. There's plenty of other artists who've done songs about loved ones they lost, but it just didn't hit because it's just like it's either way too obvious or it's too specific that like, bro, I can't relate to this. You know, right. So. It's but when it gets done well, it just, you know, because again, it's the purest form of like artistry. Like it's like we're not trying to make it anything else besides what it is. So that's why, yeah, they did a really good job with that.
Yeah, no, glad to hear it.
Nice, bro. But yeah, that's all I got, man. It's been a minute. Again, hopefully we do a couple episodes before you leave to South Africa. So where's the exact list of places you're going?
So we're doing one night in Dubai and then Nairobi for a few days, which is where the safari will be.
Dope.
And then from there to Cape Town, South Africa, and then Singapore 2 days, and then finally home.
Oh, dope. All right, man. So you're doing a good amount. That's awesome.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of flying, but it works out perfectly because those are going to give us like the breaks to where we don't have to do like one long ass flight like economy. So that'll help us out.
Awesome, bro. It's gonna be great. We'll talk before, and we'll definitely record. I'll try to get an episode in before you leave as well, man. But love you, my dude. Let the people know where they can find us, and let's get out of here.
Yes, sir. Catch us at audio-theory.com. This one part's gonna have to get edited, but new episode every now and then. Should we say
every now and then? Around nap time.
On all platforms. Peep the site for that, and if you want to get merch as well. On top of that, we got the Heat of the Week Spotify and Apple Music playlist up there as well, if you want to peep that and check out the new music we just discussed, as well as older releases. But besides that, please like, comment, subscribe, do what you can to support the channel.
Do what you can. Peace.
Peace.